Hi, Foos.
Sup, yo?
Hello.
It's episode 248. We are in Honolulu, Hawaii. Actually, we're in Waikiki Beach. Waikiki?
Waikiki in Hawaii.
All right. Well, welcome back, and thank you for joining us once again for another Hawaiian episode of the Foobar Show. But before we get to any of that, find a bunch of cool Foobar Show merch at foobarshow.com. Find tons of new merch items like totes, travel mugs, magnets, baby onesies, and t-shirts, and tons of new colors and styles. Go to our merch page found at foobarshow.com to check it all out. Next up, click on the link to SoCal rock band The Fallen Electric at the bottom of foobarshow.com for music, tour dates, and merch. On Saturday, I will be at Boondocks in Corona, California. That's Saturday, October 16th, playing with The Fallen Electric from 8:30 p.m. to 12:30 a.m. Free to enter, 21 and over, and plenty of food and drinks to enjoy while catching a fun night of cool rock and roll music. And lastly, Grass Store, everybody. One of the best cannabis delivery services I've ever dealt with, bar none. And thank you for clicking on that freaking banner, man. I saw another credit come through. Yeah. They service LA, Orange County, and select parts of the Inland Empire. Go to foobarshow.com and click on another Grass Store banner. And first-time users get 30% off of their purchase. And now, without further ado, Foos, episode 248, here we go. From Filthy Martini Studios in Ontario, California, it's the Foobar Show! Hey, what's up, everybody? I am Joe C.
I'm Josh.
And Steph.
Thank y'all very much for listening to the Foobar Show. Thanks for hitting subscribe, and remember to rate, review, and tell your friends like a champ. You can always get in touch with us and get our merch at foobarshow.com. That's FOObarshow.com, and search FOO Bar Show on YouTube, Tumblr, Twitter, and Instagram. Check us out, drop us a line, and we'll foo it up like a couple of foos. Ain't that right, foos?
See, foo.
Oh, yeah.
See.
All right. Well, hey, guys, we made it. We're in Waikiki Beach on Oahu in the great state of Hawaii. And we've done quite a few things now.
Oh, yeah, man.
We've seen the Foo get married, except for Steph.
Nope.
Steph wasn't there.
So Steph can't say if it actually happened.
But a lot of activities have taken place. We went to the beach. We've gotten high. We've gotten drunk. We've gotten some donuts.
And burnt.
And we got sunburned. Well, I got a good tan going, except for my neck usually gets red first.
Are you a redneck, foo?
No, that's ironic.
Huh.
I'm a Mexican redneck, I guess you can say.
Oh, okay. So you're a paisa.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that is.
That's what that is. Yeah. But we're going to keep this show a little light today since we are on location and we're doing it from our hotel room here in Waikiki. Mm-hmm. I think the only thing that we have on tap is what we've done so far. A little geeking out, maybe a little sports. So what do you guys want to get started with? I mean, we already touched on the wedding itself, but I mean, it was a bit abrasive, no?
No thanks to, I love Jackie. I love her. She's awesome. She's good. Good cat. She's a good cat. She's a good cat.
But
her sister.
Oh, good God.
Her sister is quite a pill, foo. Quite a pill indeed.
Yeah, man.
It's like
Explain yourself.
It's like every bad trait that could possibly be had in her family was just passed on to Carice in just like tenfold.
What?
Like the gene pool just really was uneven in that distribution.
Yeah, man. She's a pill with a capital C. I'll tell you right now, man.
I mean, she was the wedding planner for their wedding.
Yeah, and she acted like it.
She acted like it, but she was so scatterbrained. She was giving everyone anxiety at the wedding. Like at
that woman gave me so much anxiety.
It was too much. Luckily, I stayed quiet and off of her radar up until the point when the family pictures had to be done. And Jose and DJ No Chill were gone, so I was the only lone groomsman to do anything.
And speaking of, you know that you are a bit too much when you end up stressing me out more than DJ No Chill.
And DJ No Chill was even stressed out.
DJ No Chill was like, oh my God, what is going on here?
What is this wrong with this one?
He got the vapors?
Yeah, he was just like, wow. It's just like, DJ No Chill knows when someone's not being chill? Yeah. Wow. Wow. Mm-hmm. But you know what? Despite the friction between her and the Foos mom.
Drama?
Yeah, that's a story for another time. I got to get more details.
That was a little invisible to the rest of us.
Yeah,
which I'm glad.
Yeah, so
that was the case.
I don't have an eyewitness account to say anything on that, so I'll have to get more info from DJ No Chill.
Investigate.
I'll do some investigating and I'll report back on that one. But yeah, that was. But the luau itself was awesome.
Luau was nice.
The fire dancer at the end was awesome.
In COVID times, a lot of things have been thrown in a loop. But, one thing that I just refuse, or I honestly really cannot comprehend. I don't even refuse to comprehend. I just cannot comprehend the logic behind the fact that the wedding itself, the ceremony, was outdoors, took place no more than 10 to 20 feet behind the stage of where the luau takes place. But they still restricted us to only 25 people, which is why Steph couldn't attend.
And I found out the reason why. The reason why is because the venue does not become an official restaurant until, I think the start time was like 4 or 5. So anything before that, they were restricted to the 25 person limit.
And I appreciate the effort to give me some kind of reason. But that's not a goddamn reason.
No, it isn't, because you know how many people were at the luau.
There's
right?
600 people
600 fucking people.
Sitting
so where was the
next to each
COVID
other.
restriction on that? And they told us we had to walk around with our masks. Okay, fine.
And everybody was pretty good about that.
Everyone was really good about that.
But every table had at least 30 people to a table.
No masks at the tables.
Yeah.
They didn't enforce it at your table.
It's so silly, man.
It's
just so silly.
Again, it wasn't a completely outdoor venue. The wind was blowing, so chances of you catching anything, the wind would have blown it way past you before it got to you.
Yeah.
Right.
There was no reason why they should have limited the amount of people at the actual, wedding. It was stupid.
It just doesn't make any goddamn sense.
It was stupid.
And I as much as I would love to blame the foo, he had no control. He had no control over that.
He had no control.
And we did the best we could given the circumstances. And the irony in all of this too is that Steph was reading something in the news about the restrictions maybe being lifted next week.
Right. Because I had so much time Saturday morning, which
Oh, what were you doing Saturday morning, Steph? You were getting ready?
What were you doing while we were...
I went to the mall here, across from the hotel, and I got myself coffee, and I walked around, and then it started pouring, and so I was walking in the rain, and I was like, fuck, my shoes are brand new, I don't want to get them wet, and so I went back up to the hotel, and then I almost got stuck in the elevator because I heard this loud, snap, and the elevator starts shaking.
Oh, fuck. Oh,
and I'm just
Jesus.
it's the elevator that we...
that we've all actively avoided in this whole hotel.
It's as soon as it passes, floor 6, it just makes this loud banging noise, it's about to just collapse.
It's not a fun elevator to go, especially when you're really drunk or high.
Yeah.
No.
And so, I was just having a bad morning because... prior to me coming up to the hotel, after I got my coffee, I was attacked by a trash can that was soaking wet, and I was just like, what the fuck? Because it was just, the air was blowing.
Soaking wet.
Oh, shit.
Naked. Soaking wet.
And then I was just like, well, fuck it. I'm just going to read the newspaper in the hotel. And I wanted to see what was going on in Oahu, and the numbers are going down for COVID.
Yeah.
The vaccine rates are going up, which is a good thing. Hospitalizations are down. Everybody's doing their part. Especially, I'm surprised with this tourist area. Everybody's pretty good.
Really good with the masks around here.
Yeah.
All of the businesses are really enforcing it. They will not let you walk in if you do not want to have one on.
They'll hand you one. They'll hand you one.
Yeah.
What I noticed is because I went to go eat lunch at the food court, and they won't let you eat there unless you show proof of vaccination. So, it's either you show it or you get out.
Yeah.
And you eat somewhere else. But in the newspaper, they were saying that their restrictions might start opening up next week. That includes the 25 person
per limit
party,
outdoor.
size, outdoor and indoor. So... we'll see what happens. I mean, it's looking good.
It won't matter anymore.
It won't matter at that point.
We're out of here by then.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm, the numbers look good. They're doing their part.
Considering we're doing all of this during these COVID times and this unprecedented times, as people like to say. Wow, makes me puke every time I hear that. It's like God,
just something ugly people say.
Yeah. It's amazing how it hasn't really affected us more than just us wearing our masks. That's it. Everywhere we were still able to do a lot of things out here. Go to the beach, walk up and down. We were able to do the Jurassic Valley tour.
Yeah, we just got back from that,
which was awesome.
That's been cool.
That was cool. We even got to go to the botanical gardens, which was beautiful.
Steph got bit by a few mosquitoes there.
Yeah, she almost died.
Of course that would happen. Stagnant water, humid, or humidity, and then it's just a breeding ground for mosquitoes.
Mm-hmm. And then of course, all it needed was Steph to walk near it.
Oh, we almost died because of that wasp that was attacking us.
Oh, yeah.
We did not almost die.
No, but we ran fairly quickly.
This huge, probably 2-3 inch, shiny black wasp.
Yeah, you could see the stem between their actual stinger.
Yeah.
When you see that, you run because you will die.
Yeah.
That motherfucker will kill you. Yeah, that's a no-go.
Nope.
But besides that, it was a beautiful view.
Everything's been pretty cool, man. The Jurassic Park tour, which is where they filmed the first Jurassic Park and the Jurassic World. There's a lot of scenes from there. A few other movies, too, like Pearl Harbor.
Jumanji,
the new one. George of the Jungle was there. So a lot of those sites, and they explain, this is where Godzilla.
Don't forget our boy.
They still have. Well, it's
the Roland Emmerich.
It's the Roland Emmerich.
Yeah, Godzilla. It's Zilla, not Godzilla.
But they have a couple footprints from the movie.
Yeah, that was cool.
Still,
that was cool.
And
Kong,
the log
was it?
What?
Kong was there too, right?
Yeah. The sign got taken down by the cows, though, like the guy said. Yeah,
right.
But the Kong skull and stuff were there.
Yeah.
But the Jurassic Park log, the one where they hide behind it, the main character and the two kids hide behind when they are when the stampede of dinosaurs are coming through. That also got moved because of cows. Fucking cows. But that was, it was a cool tour, man. We got to drive some 4x4s around there, and I had a good time.
Yeah, man, I even liked the tour guides were really good too, telling us the history of the island, the story of where the names come from, and then during that photo opportunity during that Jurassic, the T-Rex chase scene, one of the tour guides offered to do a B-movie style video where our whole group was running away, and he has this little hand Jurassic T-Rex puppet
thing.
And he's just moving it in front of the phone, and we're all running dramatically. Yeah. It looked really good. It went really well. I'm gonna try and get that video from Jackie because I know it's on her phone.
Oh yeah.
We should post it. That'd be cool.
Yeah. So man, it was a great trip. Unfortunately, I leave tomorrow. You guys still have another day or two?
So I got a couple days. Yeah, we leave Wednesday night. So we don't get back into LAX until Thursday morning, 1:30 a.m. because of the time change and all that. So
yeah, I know. I leave at 12. I don't land until 8:15.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's all day.
Yeah,
that's your entire day.
That's my entire day. Yeah. So luckily, I'm gonna try and get up a little early, do a little last minute exploring. At least around here. But I'm pretty. Today's my day. Yeah, man. But it's awesome. I can't wait to come back here. The water was amazing at the beach.
Yeah, it's nice and warm and clean.
Warm. Oh man, the only shitty part was the rocks, the reef, in certain parts of it, you felt like your feet were gonna get cut.
Yeah.
Now,
there was a specific, before we met with everybody else, Steph and I got there a little bit early, and we were at a different section of that beach, and it wasn't that bad. If we would have just walked even further down, it wouldn't have been so bad.
Yeah.
But that part where we ended up staying the most time, it was a little rocky. And me, I can't get in the ocean water anyway. I break into hives.
We even made a joke at your expense because almost all of us at one point were in the water. And Joe C over here was on the beach by himself.
I was still enjoying the water.
He was still enjoying it, but there was a point when he was like sitting with his knees up, his arms under his knees.
I was enjoying the water.
He's just staring out at us, and we're just like, lonely. I am so lonely.
No, that was
waving to us. Hi
guys.
Hi. Everyone's like, why doesn't he come in the water? I'm like, he's gonna die. He will die if he comes in this water. And they're like, no, he won't. I'm like, let's test it. We kept calling, like, come on, let's test it.
And I'm like,
luckily you did not. Yeah.
Hi guys. No. I just kept waving.
Oh yeah, but man, yeah, it was awesome. Great time. I can't wait to try to come back again at some point. Maybe even try surfing. Take some surfing lessons.
Yeah, why not?
In non-COVID times.
Is this the first island you've been to, Josh?
Yes. Oh. So I may want to try to do like Maui next time.
Maui's nice. Very, very green. You definitely have to do the zip lining. I know South Park made fun of it.
Shaka,
and that's what you guys base your zip lining tours.
It's exactly like South Park, though. Just, really just don't bring the Diet Double Do.
Don't do it. But, it really is beautiful because you have the ocean on one side and you have the nice green on the
forest on the other side.
On the other side.
Oh yeah.
The only thing with Maui is you got to drive everywhere.
Yeah, I heard nothing is close. Everything's really far. So
don't Uber. You have to rent a car.
Ride it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, only if it's like a neighboring hotel or shopping center, the Uber's worth it. But everything is pretty spread out. Not as developed as the Oahu, of course. This is where the capital is. So, and we do want to still check out the Pearl Harbor sites. Maybe jump on a tour tomorrow. We'll see. But it's been a cool time, man. I gotta say, despite the hurdles that we've got, and by hurdles I mean fucking the Foos sister-in-law. Yeah. and even DJ No Chill. I mean, at a certain point, he does become a little too much.
I made him cry.
You made
him? No, I don't know if I actually made him cry, but he was a little upset. He was a little bent out of shape when we left him one night. I won't go into the detail, but I was a little too truthful for him, I guess. But
nothing we haven't said before.
Yeah, it's the same things I always tell him.
But anyway, yeah.
I have to hand it to the wedding party because you guys made it through that wedding with no food.
Yeah.
And you guys were so hungry at the table.
And hung over. You don't forget how hung over me and this dude were the next morning. Like the night before, Friday night when I land. When I arrive, we have a rehearsal party at the Foos suite. He had a nice, really like penthouse suite, awesome. So right off the bat, we just start drinking makers. We start like just taking shots. Once we get our whole routine out of the way, like it's just party time. Like, and we just keep taking shots so much so there's a point where the groomsmen, we pour shots. I just take mine, put it in my mouth, and everyone's just like, hey, we're doing it together. I'm like, I spit it all back into the cup.
Gross.
And they're just like, dang. I'm like, hey, well, I didn't swallow it yet. It's fine. And so, that should have been a telltale sign if I did that. Yeah, we were all gonna get pretty fucked up at that point. Usually I'm the voice of reason.
I was pretty overserved that evening as well. So much that I wake up in the middle of the night and just puke everything that's in my stomach, which is kind of cool because it was all purple from all the ube snacks that we were eating. But if I hadn't done that, I would have been in a real bad spot come wedding day.
Oh yeah. Likewise, I threw up too. Like mine wasn't as late as yours. I think mine was almost like maybe an hour into my sleep. I woke up. I'm like, no, gotta get rid of it. Just got rid of all of it. And I was happy too because like the worst I had the next morning, I didn't have a headache, but I just felt tired, like that fatigue and like dehydration. And it made it even worse that the food had no snacks. We had no breakfast. Or we had like some breakfast, like half of
all the bridesmaids took everything.
Yeah, they said, "Fuck these guys! They don't need any of this shit."
And there was 2 coffee makers, and they took both.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know.
They had fresh eggs. They left them for us cold.
Yeah.
They had Leonard's like baked goods, like donut, like whatever the hell they had there.
Yeah.
They only gave us the cold
It was garbage.
It was not good cold.
No, you gotta have that fresh.
Yeah. So it was just all bad. And then this guy brought the McKellen 12-year. I think we killed it. I don't know what happened to it.
I don't know. We didn't kill it.
Yeah,
it's still sitting over there with the Foos somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's fine. That was his gift. It was his gift for me to him. But he could do whatever he wants with it. But I wanted to enjoy. He just seemed so stressed out.
Foo, you did not help.
No, I didn't, and that's because I grabbed the wrong sunglasses. Which he gave us all sunglasses so we can all match, and I grabbed the wrong ones. And it was like after a certain point, because I'm like, "Are you gonna take me back to should I Uber?" At a certain point, I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna Uber." And then he's like, "No, don't Uber. We're gonna take you back." It just didn't make any logistical sense.
You could tell he started panicking. We didn't need to go as a group. There was no reason why me and DJ No Chill had to go the second time when his sister-in-law took us.
We were already in the van.
Yeah.
To go ourselves.
He pulled us back because they said they needed the van. They didn't need the van or use the van.
They couldn't because we still had the keys to the van.
Yeah. And they never asked us for the keys to the van. And if it would have all just been avoided, we would have still had a good time if they had just let this guy take a goddamn Uber. We're 9 minutes away from his hotel.
Yeah.
9 minutes.
It's not even an issue. Just get an Uber.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He made it just even worse. And then we were still hungry. Still hadn't eaten. We didn't really have any water either. So it was just like
You poor guys.
And then during the after the ceremony, some of the centerpieces were actual pineapples. I'm like, fuck this. I'm eating this pineapple. I just broke into it with my bare hands.
Freaking caveman, dude. Like this guy, he sticks his finger into it. I'm like, oh, he got it. And I'm like, what? And he just like yanks it out. A full piece, and then he just proceeds to just keep yanking.
Yeah, if you get one, you can get the rest.
Yeah, he did half of a freaking pineapple, handed it up to all of us because we're all starving by this point.
Yeah.
We hadn't been served at the luau. The luau waited until like 7 o'clock to feed us.
Yeah.
So even at that point, we're all fucking starving. I caved. I used my market card to go to the market and just get a freaking sorbet, mango coconut sorbet thing. I'm just like, dude, I need something in my stomach. This is ridiculous. We had the cake, but the cake didn't sit well with me because I'm still fucking hungover with massive acid reflux from all the whiskey from last night. Yeah. So I'm just like, dude, this sucks.
And I don't want to present this in a negative light, like we didn't have a good time. We were having a good time.
It was a good time.
We were just hungry as fuck.
Yeah, that was the only downside. But other than that, we were having a blast. Yeah. I was exhausted from work, and then we had our shoes from Men's Warehouse, brand new fucking loafers,
digging into my feet,
digging into our ankles, our toes. My toe was bruised the next morning. I don't know how. I'm like, how the fuck is my big toe bruised right now? But yeah, it was But you know what? Despite all that, we still had a good time.
Good times.
So we have to have something to complain about, right?
Of course, it wouldn't be the Foobar show.
We can't always go smooth. Something has to go.
Especially not with characters like DJ No Chill.
Yeah, I mean,
the Foos sister-in-law.
if anything, Foo, it makes it even more entertaining.
Yeah, no, for sure. It makes for a good story. Memorable, unless you're Steph.
Oh no, I loved hearing all your guys' stories. And when I get to the luau and we sit down, everybody just looked wiped. Bridesmaids included, not just the guys. Yeah. All the bridesmaids just oh my God. They just, a hurricane just blew back past you guys.
Yeah, it was just, we were just done. Even all the rest of the weekend. If you see most of them, they were just done. They just dude, we're tired.
So, the only constructive criticism I really gave the Foo head on was, hey man, the next time you get married, fucking just give us some snacks throughout the day, please.
No water, man. You know what was fucked up? We went in the limo, there was no water, no snacks. But
no alcohol.
No alcohol. We get to the venue. We had to wait in the parking lot. The van gets in.
Yeah.
The van has a full fucking case of water. None of us think to fucking pull out that case of water.
My God.
Right.
So we don't have any water before the ceremony. We're all scorched, just sweating because we're having to help set up and move around. Yeah. There was no rational thought process during that morning. But, I mean, it was a beautiful ceremony. It was great. The view was awesome, and it all worked out really well. But otherwise, successful trip, Foo. successful food trip.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, Foo.
Congratulations, Foo. You fucking douchebag. All right. So, you guys just want to get into Geeking Out? We're just doing the one thing for What If, right?
Yeah, we're just doing What If, man.
Fuck it. All right. Well, I really don't have a clever sponsor for today, so go for it.
Well, Foos, episode 9 of What If was titled, What If the Watcher Broke His Oath?
I like that, too. I like how everything just built to him fucking up his oath.
Yeah. And he had no fucking choice.
Yeah.
He had no fucking choice because if he didn't, all of the multiverse was going to be fucking wiped out.
Yep.
Or we would have eventually have seen Kang, which I believe would have happened, but we'll never know.
Will we?
Right? Like, who is the oath to?
Right? Like, why? Like, who is he keeping it for?
Yeah.
Like, you know,
maybe others,
other
like
watchers,
him, other watchers.
That's true.
Because I mean, it's been told that in the past, one of them or a few of them have fucked up in that way, and they almost destroy the multiverse by doing so. So it must be a mutual pact between them. Yeah,
that makes sense. That would make a lot of sense if that was the case. We didn't really know. We didn't really get any detail on that, but that's like our really only rational explanation for that oath. But we see him start pulling all of these different heroes from all these different multiverses. We see Captain Carter in the setting of Winter Soldier, the beginning part where they're jumping out of the plane.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what that scene was.
And she's when Captain fights Batroc, this time it's Peggy fighting Batroc, and pretty much the same outcome. And then the Watcher plucks her and pulls her into this little pocket universe. And then the next thing we see is Gamora and Iron Man in this like Hulkbuster as Guardian-esque fucking like armor,
crazy armor,
and they're at the Dead Star where Mitri, where they formed Stormbreaker.
Yeah,
I think they're there. There's no explanation as to what they're doing.
No, you can see them melting down.
The gauntlet. That's right. They're because they just defeated Thanos, and now they're melting down the gauntlet. And then Watcher pulls Gamora from there, which was cool. Not you, Stark. Pulls Gamora.
Yeah.
And then my favorite one was Thor in Las Vegas fighting all those Ultrons.
Yeah.
He's like, nobody messes with Las Vegas. Like smacking them around. The Watcher's like, Thor. And he's just like smacking everything. And then the Watcher's like, screw it. Grabs him. And then Thor just like, wails like a little girl.
Which I like. I like how that was like a parallel to Thor Ragnarok when he's on the chair.
Yeah.
And then he just starts screaming, and then he just stops.
It was so good. And then you see they pulled Killmonger in as they were like he was about to be raided by like Zuri and like all these other like they legit just pulled him in. They pulled in T'Challa, Star-Lord. And then they all kind of meet around Doctor Strange Supreme. And that little like scene when they're all like in that bar, pretty much that's what it was. That was a nice little scene, and it almost felt like an Ocean's 11-esque like heist planning.
That's what it felt like.
Like that's how it felt like. And then you had what I loved was that interaction between T'Challa and Killmonger. Like,
because they know who they are.
Because they know who each other are. Like by this point, T'Challa knows that's his cousin,
right?
And he, even acknowledges him as his cousin. So it's just like, but you see, like Killmonger still has like that ulterior motive. Like something's brewing in the back of that fucking guy's head. He's always got something, thinking like 5 steps ahead of everyone.
Right.
He can never really trust anybody 100%.
No.
So, and the fact that now is somebody that he knows, quote, is there. He's like, the fuck's going on here? Yeah,
it's just like, wait a minute. Okay, what's really happening? And so then they finally come up with this plan to face Ultron, the super vision Ultron, or Ultravision, and they have this big ass fight. Ultimately, what ends up beating them is the Black Widow from Ultron's actual universe, like shoots him in the eye with the what's his name, a Zola virus, the Armin Zola virus. And during this whole thing, I like the whole fight sequence between what's it called, like the Watcher and all of them with Ultron, like even so much that they bring in the Marvel zombies. Like they just opened a portal and you just see all of the zombies flooding out and jumping and falling onto Ultron.
Yeah.
Like that was awesome how they kind of tied everything together. And then you see Killmonger bringing up like an Ultron head and start fucking with it. So it's just like, okay, something's going on here. And then, Zola infects Ultron, pretty much defeats him. And then Killmonger starts creating this fucking crazy ass Ultron suit for himself. But then Zola fights back, and it's just like this weird tug of war that they don't want to give up. And I thought that was dope how they had Zola's face on Vision's body, just like his actual comic book counterpart. You know how it's like his face is on the actual body, but it's still Vision.
Right.
I'm just like, dude, that was awesome. And then, but the only thing I will knock was that the conclusion was so quick, and it's just like, really, you're just gonna have them in a little pocket universe fighting each other for these stones, and Strange is just gonna watch them. But it's like, okay, I mean that's really all they could do in this short amount of time.
Now, if they revisit that in season 2 or pick it up from there, that's not a bad thing. There's a whole lot of content you can build from there.
Yeah, and they're saying that season 2 will focus a lot on the Phase 4 characters. So you'll see like a what if for Shang-Chi. You'll see a what if for the Eternals. Like a lot of the newer characters, that's where they'll start to focus and build from there too.
Nice.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just gonna get better. So far, I give the entire series an 8.5 out of 10. It's not a 9 for me, just because it does have some parts where it could have been a little better, but otherwise, fucking fantastic way to introduce the multiverse and to grow the Marvel lore. Like,
well, for that same reason, though, I give it a 9.
Okay, that's fair. No, it is fair.
Because compared to the other things that they've done, albeit they haven't been animated like this, and when you deal with animation, you do have a whole lot more liberties.
Yes.
That you can fuck with, but I think that it was at first it seemed a little scattered. I will have to admit, but when everything started coming together, specifically after, at the end of the Thor one, when you're like, oh, and then, they started explaining it, and now we get to this last episode, it's like, oh, dude, this is awesome. The only thing that they didn't tie in with everything else was the zombies, which I'll give it to them, at least that was pretty gratuitous.
That was
that zombies episode. So I'm glad that they still did it, even though they didn't tie it in with this. But
they did.
How?
They just brought in.
Oh, right.
Yeah, they brought in the Scarlet Witch versus Ultron. That's right. I forgot about that scene.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, that's how they bridged it in. But we didn't get the heroes from that zombie universe. Like, we didn't get the Supreme Spider-Man.
Right.
Like that, we got him.
I guess that's why I didn't think about it.
Yeah, no, and that's why I totally forgot about that too, because it's a quick scene. If you miss it, or if you don't really see it, you're gonna forget about it.
Right.
But otherwise, it was a great series. Steph, what do you give it?
I would give it a 9 out of 10, only because in the first couple episodes they were still trying to get their footing. I think with just the execution of the voice acting.
Yeah.
And I would have preferred the actual more characters from live action to voice their animated
contracts, though, man.
Yeah,
I know, I get it.
That's the shitty part.
That's out of our control, whatever. But I can see how it would tie in with just a one. What am I trying to say? I think that it would be
English, motherfucker. Do you speak it?
This happens all the time when I'm trying to say something. I think that if this was only going to be one season, which it's not, because it's obviously way too good for that.
Yeah.
But if it was only going to be one season, I can see how the ending was fitting, because now fucking Doctor Strange, that's his punishment for destroying his own universe, is to watch those two in a constant battle. Yeah,
in a dead universe.
Right. And so,
nothing can happen to it.
And so that would be okay, the Avenger or the Guardians of the Multiverse are formed. They're going to help the Watcher essentially protect their set of multiverse And then that would be it.
Mm-hmm.
And they would just do on with the shenanigans. But I don't know. I would love to see season 2. So I know it's not going to end there.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah.
And since we've been so boggled down with activities here in Hawaii, we haven't really even seen Titans or a lot more of Squid Game. So we'll talk about that when we get back to LA.
Yeah,
right.
Once we get some time to catch up, I'm going to try to download some of that. And hopefully it'll save on my fucking phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Yeah, we still got a lot more other stuff next week. So yeah, stay tuned for next week, guys.
Yeah. All right, well, I think that's going to do it for Geeking Out today. And you wanted to talk about some sports because a lot's been happening in sports, specifically within the last hour.
Yeah.
Since as we record this, we're recording this on Monday at around 6:30 p.m. So let's get into sports. And again, no fucking clever sponsors, so go for it.
Well, Foobar Sports, Foos, some of the big things that's happened all weekend. The Dodgers are playing the Giants in the division series. But, that hasn't been the most surprising news that we've had. Today, the NFL, on Monday Night Football, they announced, Adam Schefter reported that Jon Gruden resigned from being head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. Yeah, I had a pause.
That's crazy, dude.
I almost called it Oakland again. Yeah, and this all stemmed from a report over the weekend of some emails. So how this all happened was that Jon Gruden, during 2011, when he was an ESPN analyst, he emailed then GM of the Washington football team, Bruce Allen. He sent him emails, and in those emails, he had racial remarks to regarding the NFLPA's director, DeMaurice Smith. And I'll try to find some of those remarks right now. But pretty much, they surfaced, the news got out, it became this whole big ordeal. Man. So much so he had to acknowledge it even after yesterday. They lost yesterday. Mm-hmm. Got their asses kicked by the Bears. The Bears of all fucking teams.
The Bears?
The Bears. The Bears. And, everything kind of, he apologized for it. He said, I didn't mean it in that way. It just came off in a, wrong way in email. So everyone thought, okay, you know what? He can't really get disciplined for this because he wasn't an NFL employee at the time. And this happened 10 years ago. So, the NFL is kind of in a touchy spot. And the Raiders are too, because this was before he was even employed by the Raiders. Mm-hmm. So, they thought, okay, that was it. Well, cut to today.
Oh, no.
We cut to today, and pretty much they found out, the New York Times found 15 emails of instances of him having racial remarks and homophobic slurs and misogynistic remarks about his ESPN coworkers and other individuals in the league.
Fuck.
So
it's just more.
Yeah. That was just the tip of the iceberg, that email about DeMaurice Smith. And so as soon as that pretty much became news, Jon Gruden met with owner Mark Davis, and they pretty much talked about it, and Jon Gruden said, you know what, I'm resigning. I don't want to be a distraction for the team anymore, and I think it's just best if I just part ways.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think he was only in year 4, either year 3 or 4 of his 10-year contract.
Fuck.
Because he signed a 10-year, $100 million deal with the Raiders, I believe in 2018. Yeah, so
what happens to that contract now since he, quote, resigned?
It's voided because he resigned. Because he resigned. It'd be different if the Raiders fired him. Mm-hmm. Because if the Raiders fired him, he would have been owed the rest of his contract.
Okay.
But because he resigned, they don't have to pay him shit.
And what person in charge or what fucking thing would make somebody resign, when so much money is at stake like that? You know what I mean? I know it was the right thing to do and everything, but, given the fact that we kind of already have a window into his character, that's not something somebody's just going to readily do. is resign when all this money is at stake and just void your contract.
Yeah, like there has to be some truth to these emails.
Of course,
and to his feelings about these emails, because it's like, there's no fucking reason why you would resign if this shit wasn't true.
Well, not only that, but if you said like the emails were dated back as far as 10 years, then somebody was doing, some investigation for a while.
Well, right now the reason why all of this happened is because, I don't know if you guys remember, the Washington football team, the NFL began an investigation on them regarding misconduct and pretty much like a poorly run program and and all kinds of like stuff like this last year. So this is where this investigation stemmed. This is just a byproduct of that investigation.
Okay.
So he pretty much just got fucked over from something that didn't even involve him. Yeah. Like they just found it and then it just, caught like wildfire. And so according to right now, there's according to Belson and Rosman, Gruden denounced the emergence of women as referees, the drafting of a gay player, and the tolerance of players protesting during the playing of the national anthem. He also exchanged emails with former Washington football team president Bruce Allen and other men that included photos of women wearing only bikini bottoms, including one photo of 2 Washington team cheerleaders. He also used his racist tropes to describe NFLPA Executive Director DeMaurice Smith. The email from Jon Gruden and some of the reaction to it confirms that fighting against racism... Oh, this is from DeMaurice Smith. That fighting against racism, racist tropes, and intolerance is not over. This is not about an email as much as it is about a pervasive belief by some that people who, like me, can be treated as less. Mm-hmm. And, yeah, man, this thing just fucking blew up. I know a couple of my family members are just like, the shit was from like 10 years ago. Dude, those same family members will get canceled today for some of the shit they say. So I don't care what their feelings are on this. It's like, dude, he had to go. Yeah. He had to go. Like, there's nothing else. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And
it's not like they were winning.
Yeah, dude, they started off 3-0. And then they just...
Yeah, but that was beginner's luck.
Yeah, I mean... But who knows? I mean, the 2-game losing streak, maybe it was a byproduct of this when the news came out. There's really no telling. There's no telling on it. I mean...
We'll never know now.
We'll never know now. It's possible that at least this last game against the Bears, they were affected by it. I mean, when you have a lot of black players on the team, they're gonna
look him in the eye the next day.
And not only that, he has a gay player on his team.
Yeah, that's right.
Carl Nassib, who recently came out. Recently came out, so it's like, dude, how does that look? Like, you have a guy that just came out, great player, great football player, and now he finds out that his coach was like against gay football players playing in the league altogether. Yeah, it's just all bad.
Now you got to take direction from this kind of guy?
Yeah. I mean, you lose face. You lose respect. And, it's funny because Jon Gruden's not the only coach going through shit like this. There's the other coach that's going through shit like this is Urban Meyer, the head football coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's a first-time NFL coach. All he's ever been is in college. He was in, like, Ohio State. He won national championships at Ohio State and... Florida. So everyone thought, he only went to the NFL to coach this number 1 pick, Trevor Lawrence, in Jacksonville. They are a fucking garbage fire. They suck. Like, they suck. He has no business being a coach in the NFL. And after their loss this last week, he went to a bar. Instead of going on the fly or going to study film or anything, he went to a local bar in Ohio. And there's a video of him at this bar being grinded on by some chick, super drunk chick, and like she's grinding on him hardcore. He has a beer in his hand or whatever, and like I guess there's like other stuff where he's like grabbing her ass and like doing all kinds of shit. And so then the players found out, and they're just like, "Oh, dude, he has no credibility." Like the players came out and said he has absolutely no credibility in this locker room. Like he has no business being our coach.
Really?
And then the owner, Shad Khan, said he has to earn our trust back. Yeah. Like he had a conversation. So the chances of that dude lasting this year, 1%, I say. Yeah. So
Now, I'm going to be devil's advocate just for a second here.
Yeah.
And, moving forward with, these kinds of big personalities in the NFL, or just given any sport, really, are we calling for people to be squeaky motherfucking clean?
Well,
and is there a belief or still an understanding that people can change?
I'm of the belief that people can change. Mm-hmm. I don't believe anyone is squeaky clean.
And I don't think so either.
And if you are, something's wrong about you. Like, there's something there that we haven't uncovered. But what I am kind of like...
Mr. Rogers is pretty squeaky clean.
And there's something there, man. I'm telling you.
No.
Something's not right.
There's nothing... He's pretty squeaky clean.
I'll agree to disagree.
Okay.
The thing about like these emails and stuff from 10 years ago, you should still kind of be held accountable for what you say publicly. Privately speaking is a different story, but if you're a dumbass that's posting this shit on, like, the people that post shit on Twitter, the people that post shit on their Facebook, you have to have a little tact, man. You have to have a little tact that some way this shit's gonna come back to you.
Especially when it has to do with the people that you employ.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
Or if you have aspirations to become somebody who employs these types of people.
Exactly. If you're looking for a leadership role, this isn't gonna look kindly on that potential job for that leadership role. It's, right. You have to think about those things, and I think people should be held accountable for their mistakes. Granted, they shouldn't be held accountable for long. I believe people should have a chance to recover from that. Mm-hmm. But yeah, like shit like this, it's really tough to say whether it was right or wrong that he resigned. I think it was, personally, I think it was right that he resigned, just because all of this shit happening, his team's was doing well at first, and now they're just going to probably be derailed for the rest of the season.
They're going to collapse.
They're going to collapse. I mean, they had a promising start, and then now they're all of a sudden collapsing. Yeah, if he wasn't going to resign, chances are Mark Davis was going to say, "Bro, here are your walking papers. Here's the pink slip. Peace out, bro."
Right.
That's it. So, yeah, man. Yeah, I think this is a different scenario from James Gunn's issue. Gunn's issue was more he was trying to be funny, didn't land. This, you could feel that there was a little bit more maliciousness or malicious intent behind
bigotry.
A lot of bigotry behind that. So, yeah, man, we'll have a little bit more on this, as it's a new story. So all the details are just coming out. So I'll try to get a little bit more for the next episode. Yeah, man. But I think that's it for sports, man. Yeah, man, and go Dodgers, man. That's going to be... It's an exciting series with the Giants, so I'm really hoping for the best on that. Yes. We'll talk about that next week. By then, it's all said and done, right? It should be. It'll be good or bad. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. And I'm hoping that they don't have to go back to San Francisco for the last game. That would be a bad thing. That would be very bad. I don't know, man. The Giants are good. As much as I hate them, they're a good fucking team. I hate when they're good, because Giants fans are fucking insufferable. They're as bad, if not worse, than San Diego fans. Yeah, because Giants fans actually have some clout to go behind that. These assholes have won 3 World Series in the last 10 years. Yeah. The fuck has San Diego done? Nothing. Slam Diego, my ass. Bunch of bitches. And I'm glad we beat St. Louis. That was nice. That was nice, especially the way it happened. With CT's walk off. Beautiful. That was a great game. Yeah, it was a great game. Yeah. So and we finally beat the St. Louis curse, man, because they always knocked us out of the playoffs in the early 2010s and the 2000s. So yeah, man, we'll revisit that. All right, man. Well, that's gonna do it for sports, and I guess that's going to be the episode. I said it'd be nice and quick for today. Now, next week we'll probably make up for it. I'm not saying it's going to be a 3-hour long episode, but it's going to be a 3-hour long Jesus episode. Christ. No. But we'll be back in the studio, and we'll be back doing our thing. And so, I don't know, anything else? I want to eat. Let's go get some dinner. Let's go out and about. Get some grub. And, all right, well... Thank y'all very much for listening into the Foobar Show. Thanks for hitting subscribe, and remember to rate, review, and tell your friends like a champ. You can always get in touch with us and get our merch at foobarshow.com. That's FOOBarshow.com, and search FOOBar Show on YouTube, Tumblr, Twitter, and Instagram. Check us out, drop us a line, and we'll foo it up
like a couple of Foos. I've been Josie.
I've been Josh.
And Steph.
Signing off saying, don't be a dick.